On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Cole picks up a sword and starts a cult, Ethan finds his chainsaw, and Tony takes the fight to space. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
What up?
Oh, not much. It has been a rough couple of weeks around our house, but I think things are finally starting to get back to normal, and I can get back to making some content again.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I described the last couple of weeks, everyone would think it's one of those situations and scenarios that could never actually happen. There's too many things that all get piled on top of each other. But it was not fun for the last couple of weeks. I'm glad that whole situation is over. Get back to normal. Play some video games. Talk about some video games. Unfortunately, we can't play the video games we wanted to because Konami lied to us. Thanks, Konami.
Yeah. I'm upset about that, but maybe I'll go over to Izzy's and we'll just play it.
There you go. Cause we wanted to play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today, but there's no cross-play, and so you and me and our good friend here, Cole, were not able to get together and play some Turtles. What's going on, Cole?
Punch me in real life, because I guess we can't punch each other in the game.
I mean, we're too far away to punch each other in real life. And I don't think I'd want to do that anyway, really. That's not one of those things I tend to like to do.
You're not going to check and see if friendly fire is on in real life?
No, because that actually could, result in some situations that I don't want to have to deal with. So
it's good to know there's a limit on this somewhere.
Friendly fire only extends to video games.
Only if I can drop a quick save first.
I mean, yeah, if you have the ability to quick save, then we can test friendly fire in real life. But I don't know that we have that ability. So, well, what's been going on with you, Cole?
Mostly, so the last couple of weeks I've been playing a bunch of different games because I got the Xbox working again, so I've got Game Pass.
Yeah.
I got the PlayStation's version of Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded a bunch of games and I've been playing them.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to talk about this week is one that just came out a little bit ago called Cult of the Lamb.
This has been on my radar for a while. This looks really fun.
Yes. So it's a roguish game, which is probably one of my favorite types. With some like RPG elements and base management, that sort of thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. So you've decided you're going to get sacrificed, and then this like bad guy brings you back to life to do his bidding and to wreck the other cults. So I'm going through rescuing people and converting them to my cult. And you do a lot of like just cult stuff. Like literally, like you do sermons.
You know, it'd probably be quicker just to say it's a very dark Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's definitely it's cute on the surface, and then has its like, oh wow, you really are sacrificing a person to this like creature, so that way your religion that you're starting gets stronger.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. I've put about, I'm going to say 5 or 6 hours into it.
Yeah.
and I'm starting to get up there. They'll let you name your colt, so I'm the potato colt.
Of course.
You get to make, I mean, you just basically make RPG choices. So it's like, do I want my believers to be cannibals, so I can take the cannibal part, or do I want them to be like vegans or something like that? So I did that one instead. I got like you can eat grass meals and not get sick, which is one of the cheat meals you can make early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You have to keep you have to keep your cult alive.
I mean, obviously, if your followers are all dead, there's nobody to worship you.
Exactly. And like the game, it's funny because the game is like trying to get me to exploit members of my cult and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not really doing it. I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to play it. We're going to play it the good way.
You're the world's most benevolent cult leader.
Exactly.
He's gonna wait till the last second and just extort everyone.
Exactly.
That's I got to get enough. I have to get enough inspiration points, essentially. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. They have Twitch integration, so that way your Twitch followers can be your followers in the cult.
Okay.
And they can influence stuff while you're streaming, so they can be like, "Oh, we're gonna help you out, and we're gonna give you supplies." They're gonna be like, "Oh, we're gonna make it hard." And now everybody has like half health. There's a bunch of different stuff that they can do.
Yeah.
Typically with Twitch chat, that means punishing you.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
But the integration is only on the PC right now, and I have the PlayStation version, so no trolling for now. For the most part,
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. But that's the main thing I played this week. I played a little bit of Destiny 2. We did this sort of stuff that I did already in the game this week.
Mm-hmm.
We had the raid. We started doing the raid on last Wednesday. Or I guess Wednesday, a couple days ago. And then I played a few other games. I played Dead Cells, so that's another roguelite one. Slay the Spire, I started that one. That was pretty fun. Played some more Stray.
What about this Ring of Pain?
I brought the Ring of Pain back, so that's one of my favorite Xbox games that I keep playing again. Like, if you see them on Xbox, chances are I'm playing that game. And that's a roguelite with, like, cards.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. Like, I've yet to beat a tower once. So it's a lot of trial and error.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of roguelites, but usually if it's a deck building game, I immediately say no thank you. I have no interest in any of the deck building games.
So that's the Slay the Spires like that. The Ring of Pain, you don't really get to build it so much. Like, there's random cards you can get, and you build your deck to, like, if you let's say I just got a new card. It was like nothing to lose. It was the triumph or the achievement or whatever you want to call it. It was, I took a poison, like a cursed potion when I had like no health. So it's like it either kills me or it can't kill you because it can't make your health go below 1. And I'm like, it's either going to take my health to 1, which it's already at, or it's going to heal me. And so I got that one, and that unlocked like some sort of like card that's going to give you health or something like that. So there's more. The more you do, the more cards you get, but it's not necessarily like the best. The closest I've gotten, I typically go for like a freeze build. So I want to be as fast as possible so I can attack first, and then my attack always freezes the enemy so they can't attack back.
Yeah.
But that requires you only having 4 items, and it makes fighting one of the 4. Well, actually, there's 5 or 6. One of the last 6 bosses, it gets really hard to fight because they're immune to freeze.
Hmm.
And I played that. Chronic Mania, played that a little bit with Autumn because she likes to think she's playing.
You're doing the dad thing and tricking the kid into thinking they're actually doing something.
Yep, but here's the controller. Mine's not lit up. That means it's really on.
That's how you know it's working.
Yeah, I haven't touched Doom in a week or so. Downloaded a few other games. I've been playing this This game's called The Artful Escape. So you're a folk singer and you're like becoming a rock star. It's pretty artsy, but I like it. It's neat. That's about it.
Okay. Well, Ethan?
What about you, Ethan?
So instead of doing the podcast last week because of issues that I'm not going to bring up because Tony, being polite here, I was doing I was going to do a 24-hour stream. Ended up doing a 12-hour stream.
Yeah.
And played a lot of games over that. By a lot, I mean a few. Mostly like Unmetal and Mario Maker.
Yeah. I tuned in for a little while to watch Unmetal.
Yeah, you missed too much on that.
I mean, it looks like an interesting game. I've never played any of the old Metal, like NES or MSX Metal Gear games.
Yeah, it takes a lot of inspiration from that era, game era. So I might do more Mario Maker in the future on there because that seemed to get a lot of people coming in and interested in what I was trying to do on there. So had someone come in. I don't know who it was, but he asked me to play his map, gave me the code, and it said Desert Bus.
Oh no.
The guy, it wasn't his level, but he knew several levels like this.
Yeah.
And it built on so much lag.
Really?
That it actually takes the same amount of time to finish as a Desert Bus would.
That's like a 9-hour game.
Yeah, I know. And you're getting down to where you're getting like less than 1 frame a second.
Oh, good grief.
It's just horrible. I was like, I can't do this. So I just up and quit on that.
Yeah, I imagine the completion percentage on that one is not very high.
No, it really wasn't. And it's not like the map was hard or anything. It was just there was no respect for my time on there. So.
Because there's so much going on and the frame rate is so low, it just takes forever to do anything.
Exactly. But what I chose to talk about is Chinzo Club.
Yeah, I'm watching this. This is an interesting looking game.
This has been a game that I've known about for several years now, I guess. And that's due to ESA, European Speedrun Assembly, constantly advertising it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like this kind of retro style platformer, hack and slash adventure sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think like the best way to describe this here, but yeah.
I mean, it looks like there's some single screen puzzle platforming going on in some sections.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the puzzle stuff yet. But there's definitely it's all single screen, and you do like 3 levels. And then there's like a tough challenge here, and you just kind of go through here, and you build up fans because people are watching a live stream of you doing whatever you're doing, and you earn more unlocks that way, and you find more characters or something.
It's like Mad World in that respect. Then it's like a live, brutal game show.
But what you're trying to do is stop an alien invasion.
Okay.
You play as your main character is Blue, and she uses chainsaws. And her hair is like chainsaws. She's like a robot or something, kind of like Mega Man. And the alien blood wakes her up or something. And then you unlock other characters here and there. And like I said, ESA advertised this for probably 2 to 3 years. I think that it's like every time they had an event, there's like advertisements for the game. Eventually, they even have their one character even has their own like theme song playing, and that would be Plum. She's like a purple witch. But it finally came out like Thursday, so I bought it. Now I've played probably a little bit of it. It's either extremely easy or a little on the challenging side, depending which route you go on there. But I'm enjoying it. I kind of want to see more and get what all these characters are able to do. And then it also leaves me wondering what ESA is going to be advertising now that the game is out.
It looks like it's very generous with the pixelated blood.
Oh yeah. I mean, even the stuff that heals you is the alien blood that you pick up on there, and if you don't get it picked up in time, those floating orbs will explode just into regular blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen something that looks like you're filling up a like a blender with blood.
Yes, one of the mini games is fill the blender, and you got to get like 30 kills in a set amount of time, and then it's like, all right, here's the chest for how far you get, and you fill it all the way up, you get all 3 chests.
Okay.
With the first chest being like the best, or I mean, third one being like the best chest to get.
Of course. Is this just on PC at the moment?
I believe it's PC only. I don't know if it's going to come to anything else. I imagine they would want it on other stuff, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the perfect kind of game to show up on consoles, but it'd be interesting to see if it does.
Yeah, maybe it'll come to consoles one day, or if it's not already on there. I really don't know.
I've never heard of this before, and I've been looking through the Switch eShop today and have definitely not seen anything about it on there.
Okay. I know the game's was like in beta for a long time, but you had like send in an email and hope they would let you be approved for that. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm gonna work my way through this game and probably talk about it more next week when I have more of an opinion, I guess.
I'm assuming this is on Steam on PC.
Yeah, Steam. I think it might be on itch.io, I think. I don't really know. I know it's on something else, and that it was like real easy to get the beta access there. And I just at that point I'm like, this comes out in like 3 months. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. Okay.
But Tony, what have you been playing?
Well, I've actually been playing a few different things this week. Been going through a little bit of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2 with Jake. We finished the first chapter of that and saw credits. But there's more after that. So at the end of the first chapter, one of the characters does something, and you have to then go and rescue that character in chapter 2. And you basically just play through the whole game again, just without access to that character. And of course, enemy placements and all that kind of stuff gets changed up throughout the levels. And things like that. But we're playing through that. We are having a great time with that. I love that game. I've been playing a little bit of another game that I'm not going to talk about right now because I'll do that later. I played the first level of another game, then I stopped because I have been putting all of my time this week, if I have any time to play anything by myself into Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which a little over a week ago, about a week or a week and a half ago, I took advantage of GameStop has 4 for $20 on used games that are $10 or less. So I spent $40 and got 8 games in the mail, and this was the first one that I wanted to play. And luckily, this was the first one that got shipped to me, and I am absolutely in love with this game. This is hands down the best Call of Duty campaign that I have played, like, period. It is...
Is that robot's name Ethan?
Yes, I took a picture of it. I meant to send it to you and forgot about it. Yes, your robot companion in the game, his name is Ethan.
Nice.
And he is like your right-hand man throughout the whole campaign. But this game, it has all of those little Call of Duty elements, like the snap aiming, so that if you aim down sights, it snaps to the closest enemy so that you can shoot them quickly. It is very much keep moving or you're going to die. That's pretty much has been a hallmark of the Call of Duty series from the beginning, is that if you stop moving, you're eventually going to you're going to run out of enemies to fight, and then it's just easy to move on. But it actually works in your favor to just move faster, because you continually hit checkpoints so that you don't lose progress. So it has all those familiar Call of Duty things, but then they strap on a sci-fi campaign on top of it, and it is incredibly good. It's about 7 hours long. I'm on the final mission right now. I haven't quite finished it. This feels almost like I'm playing a Halo game, like an ODST type game, because there's ship combat. You get into a fighter and you're out and you're zipping around space and shooting down bad guys. So it's a little bit Star Wars, it's a little bit Halo. It doesn't, and when you're doing that, you forget sometimes that you're playing Call of Duty, because you're so used to Call of Duty being set, in historical or near historical time periods. A lot of World War II, a lot of Vietnam, that kind of stuff. So having something set in the sort of far future in a sci-fi setting it was very refreshing to play, because Call of Duty has sort of had that, has gotten a bit stale at times, because they continue to go back to the same sort of settings over and over again. But man, this has been by far the best Call of Duty experience. I think this game came out in 2016, so it's kind of old. I'm really, really upset that I never played this before now. Haven't touched the multiplayer, don't care at all. I don't even know if it's possible to play the multiplayer on Infinite Warfare anymore, if you have to go to, whatever the Call of Duty multiplayer thing is now, Warzone.
You can play, you just probably won't have a good time.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the servers are still up. I don't know if I haven't touched it. There's a zombie mode in there too, and I think David Hasselhoff and Pee Wee Herman are, voice actors in the zombies mode. Don't know anything about that. Don't care. I go to Call of Duty for the campaigns, and this hands down tops my list of favorite Call of Duty campaigns for sure, and it's probably the best shooter campaign I've played since I played Titanfall 2 back in 2015, 2016. Such a good game. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, the space combat's
and there's one mission. I think there's only like 7 main campaign missions. It's not a very long campaign. But there's a lot of side stuff that you can do. So you can do their side things set on, Jupiter or, outside of Mars or whatever. It feels a little bit Destiny in that respect, that you go to all these different planets and do things. But there'll be specific side missions where it's just space combat, and you go out and you fight enemy fighters and you take them all out, and that does something to help your campaign progress. Or you'll go and there'll be like high value targets, enemy commanders that you can go and assault their ships and then try to take them out. And so those are all side things. You don't have to do them if you don't want to. You can just mainline the campaign if you really want. Jon Snow from Game of Thrones is the bad guy in this. I've absolutely been loving it, and I want to pick up a couple other ones. I don't know why. I think I got this one because it is It's the bundle with Infinite Warfare and then the Modern Warfare remaster. Both of them came on the same disc.
Okay.
And Call of Duty 4 has been my favorite Call of Duty for a long, long time, but I think this one could top it. And getting both of those for $5, I think it was a steal, as far as I'm concerned. I had a little bit of trouble getting them installed. Apparently, it was a known thing at the time when this game came out that it would just freeze when it was trying to install the game, and there were all different kinds of things they were telling you to do. Like, they would say it's freezing because it's trying to download an update at the same time it's trying to install the game, and that confuses the Xbox essentially, and it doesn't know what to do, and so it just stops the installation. So they say take your system offline and then try to install the game and then boot it up, or boot it back online and then install the update. Tried that, didn't work. It was always stopping at every single time 1.79 gigabytes on the installation. It would just quit and it wouldn't go any further. Eventually, I found the workaround that worked was to get rid of the games off your system.
Oh, no.
Take the disc out, go to the app on your phone go to the Xbox app on your phone, download the game through remote play, and then once they're downloaded, put the disc back in the system. It'll do its update, and then you can play. That worked. It was ridiculous. It took like 9 hours of just trying various different things to just get the game to actually run.
That seems horrible.
And I don't know why. It's just one of those weird things, but it did eventually work, and I'm glad it did because the game is so good. Like, my favorite campaign mission that I've run into so far is there's one where this asteroid gets off course, and there is some kind of like installation, mining installation or whatever, and there's civilians on there, and you go to this asteroid and you have to try to rescue the civilians, but the asteroid is tumbling in space, and so every few minutes it goes through this day-night cycle, and if you're outside when the day cycle hits, it gets to like 900 degrees and you instantly die, so you have to stay in the shadows or make sure you're inside a building when that happens. And so there are times where you have to run between buildings and you have to time it just right so that you have enough time to get through there before the sun comes back up and fries you to death, essentially.
Sounds like a Destiny 2 mission.
I was gonna say, that reminds me of the Almighty.
It did feel a little bit like Destiny at times, being on these different planets and you have a backpack that you can do that gives you it's not a double jump, it's sort of a jump and then a little bit of a float. And
like
so the movement at times felt a little bit like I was playing Destiny. But the shooting is very much not Destiny. It is if you've played any Call of Duty games, it is very much Call of Duty when you are pointing the gun and shooting at things.
So I'm shooting Nerf bullets.
I mean, it does take a lot of bullets to kill people.
When you could just easily stab them.
There are a lot of AI enemies, like robots that you're fighting. It's not all humans, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it lowers your rating of maturity.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still an M-rated game. So,
oh, yeah, I'm sure. For the blood itself, I mean...
Yeah, but then like the robots that you're shooting, they have these self-destruct things. So if you don't completely kill it, it's still crawling towards you, and if it gets close to you, it then explodes, and if it's close enough when it explodes, you'll die instantly. So
that's a Gears thing.
Yep.
So you have to make sure that you kill them completely before they get to you. And I have been having such a fun time playing through this campaign. It is so good. The story's really well done. The cutscenes are really well done. I would love to see them go back to something like this and do more sci-fi, because I know they did this for a year, maybe two, and then they went back to World War II and the Vietnam era, and that's where they've been since then. I would love to see them do another sci-fi campaign.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. I definitely remember that.
So, but that is what I have been playing. I started a little bit of Samurai Warriors on Luna today. I played a couple missions in that. Um, that's just a Muso game. If you like Muso games, you'll like that. You'll like Samurai Warriors. I'm gonna play. I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit with Call of Duty and Samurai Warriors now, but I'm almost done with Call of Duty, and then I'm going to switch to another game that Ethan will judge me for, but I'm going to play it this week, and I'll talk about it next week on the show. But that has been it for me. So how about we take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the news. Time for the news. We are big fans of Jackbox around here, wouldn't you say? We play it,
Never heard of it.
fairly often, I think. There have been some times that, dadgummit, 10, not even 30 seconds in. Oh, no, that's not an ad in my ad. Never mind. I'm getting freaked out over nothing. The ads are tricking me. There have been some issues that we've seen with Jackbox, with like the ability to sign in or having other people that we don't necessarily want in the game to signing in. Apparently, with the new Jackbox that's coming out later this year, Party Pack 9, there are a number of features that they're going to be adding to the game that content creators and live streamers have been asking for. One of those is the ability to kick players from the lobby or the game itself. So if somebody logs in that you don't want in the game, you can just kick them out, which will be nice.
That alone is a game changer. Like, the best thing ever.
Yeah. Because we've run into that a couple of times where we've had the code up long enough that other people can get in the game, and we have to just completely restart and figure out how to get into the game without people we don't want in the game getting in. But they are going to be giving you the ability to take care of that without having to get out and restart in a new lobby. So that'll be nice. Two other features that they're doing is the ability to sign in using a QR code. So you just scan it with your phone. You don't have to enter the code. It'll do it for you. And then another one, it would be if the host disconnects. The game pauses basically for 5 minutes so that the host has time to get back in, reestablish the connection, so that you don't have to restart the game or, someone else take over as the host. So they're taking into consideration the fact that a lot of people stream the game and some internet connections get funky sometimes, and so they're just making it easier to keep things on track without having to just completely stop what you're doing to fix whatever's, wrong with the game.
Right.
So that'll be nice. And you were saying earlier that may be retroactive. It may be something that they can implement into the past games as well, because a lot of the stuff is done server side and not necessarily in the game itself.
Perhaps the ability to kick someone. I could see them doing that. I don't know if they'll actually go through and update the old games, considering how much I don't know. I can only hope they actually go back and update those games, but if they don't, I wouldn't blame them. But I would hope they would.
Yeah,
as these party games are great, and people would even play them at like video game conventions and stuff.
Oh yeah,
anytime people, that's when you get a real audience involved there.
Anytime my family gets together, we play Jackbox quite often. So it's usually the first thing that gets booted up when we're playing when we've got a family gathering and we all want to play something. So, and then of course those times when we don't know what we want to stream, we're just like, oh, whatever, we'll just do Jackbox. That gets people to watch, gets people interested, and the games are usually a lot of fun. So, the newest Assassin's Creed game got leaked this week, And because of that, Ubisoft just went ahead and announced what the name of the next Assassin's Creed game is.
I mean,
And
it was already out there, so
yeah, so it is Assassin's Creed Mirage,
Ah,
and it looks like it is going to be taking place in India.
cool.
okay.
So, I mean, we've technically had one game already set in India. I don't know if this is going to be related to the Assassin's Creed Chronicles India game at all, or if this is going to take place during a separate time period.
Yeah, depending on the time here, you can make or break the experience. Didn't some of the leaks say that they're like going back to like before it went to the RPG mechanics?
Yeah, they're going back to basics, is what they said.
Yes.
That is good news to me. The last few, while they've been good, I much prefer that old. I want more of the hidey stabby stabby Assassin's Creed, and not the
Building.
the big pitched battles and the RPG stuff. It's good. It was fun, but that's not what I go to Assassin's Creed for.
Yeah, you don't go to have a unicorn with wings of fire or something to ride around on.
Yeah, that was one of the things that really bothered me about Valhalla was they got away from the historical foundation and went really heavy into the the Viking mythology and stuff like that.
It's like knowing what the context is like for it. It's like, yeah, I kind of understand, but at the same time, it's like you're going too far away from what the origin is at this point.
Yeah, and then they started adding DLC stuff with like, you get Iron Man armor for your Assassin's Creed character.
Yeah, that's like more of a more recent one too. It's so weird.
So, I like what I've seen so far. All they've shown basically is just one picture of the main character, and it looks like it's going to be set in that 1800s, British Empire, India. But I don't know if that is actually the case. I guess we will see. There is an announcement set for sometime this week. I believe it is on September 10th at 2 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock Central Time. So I think that's when the full reveal of the game will be. So we've got that to look forward to. If you are a fan of Assassin's Creed, which I am. So I'm very excited to see what they announce this week, because this is the first game in, it's been 2 years since the release of Valhalla, I think.
I don't know. I'm excited. I actually got a copy of Origin without having to pay for it finally.
Valhalla was released on,
I think it was 2020.
2020. It says 10/11/2020.
Yeah. They did 2 full years of content for that game, which is the first time they've ever done that for an Assassin's Creed game, and it was good. I think the pandemic and everything just it allowed them to do something like that, which they haven't done before. But I'm glad to see that maybe they're listening to people and going back to what made Assassin's Creed.
Ninjas.
I mean, I would love a game set in, feudal Japan with ninjas and samurai. I think that would make a great Assassin's Creed setting.
What was that one in China?
That was just it was one of the side-scrolling ones, Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So those are good games. They're just
Not the Assassin's Creed you're used to.
they're definitely not the Assassin's Creed that a lot of people want to play. They're not bad games, don't get me wrong. I've played through all of them. China, India, and Russia. India has one of my favorite Assassin's Creed sequences ever, because it is just run. And they throw all kinds of stuff in you. The level's falling apart. There are elephants running at you. There are people that you've got to dodge and attack while you're doing it. But you cannot stop, because there are cannons firing at you the whole time as well. And if you stop, you die. And it is probably my favorite 3 to 3.5 minutes of Assassin's Creed ever. I love really fun, really good escape sequences like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what day is the 10th this week? I think that's next. I guess that's
Today's
actually
the
next
3rd.
Saturday.
Today's the 3rd, so it's next Saturday.
Yeah, next
yeah.
Saturday.
Hmm.
So
That's the time of recording this.
we talked a little bit about Call of Duty earlier.
Yeah.
And we know that if Microsoft has their way, they will be in charge of the Call of Duty franchise essentially at some point. But a lot of people were worried that if this Activision deal goes through, that Microsoft would make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox, and that's not what is going to happen, according to Phil Spencer. He said in a talking to The Verge that we provided a signed agreement to Sony to guarantee Call of Duty on PlayStation with feature and content parity for at least several more years beyond the current Sony contract, an offer that goes well beyond typical gaming industry agreements. So,
Okay.
PlayStation fans don't have to worry if this Activision deal goes through. Sony's trying their hardest to say, hey, you know what? Microsoft having exclusives is bad for the industry, so don't let them buy Activision. But I'm almost certain this deal will eventually go through. What I think that means for Call of Duty is that it will be free for Xbox players, but then PlayStation owners will be able to, of course, buy Call of Duty like they do every year. But they are not going to take Call of Duty away from anyone. They're going to do just like they've done with Minecraft, where Minecraft is feature complete and feature equivalent across all platforms, regardless of whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. Doesn't matter. Call of Duty will be the same thing, but just like with Minecraft, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you'll probably be able to play it for free. Or, not free, but with the cost of your subscription.
Yeah.
So. But PlayStation owners don't have to worry about not being able to play Call of Duty every year.
For a while.
Yeah. Eventually, they may say, you know what? You've had it long enough. This is going to be an Xbox exclusive at some point. But for the foreseeable future, I'd say probably for maybe the next decade, it'll be multi-platform. So
it's really weird. Microsoft's buying up all these exclusives, and then it's like, yeah, we're not doing exclusives. What are you talking about?
I mean, Phil Spencer has talked multiple times about how he hates exclusives.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, they're buying up all the companies.
Yeah. If Embracer doesn't get to them first, it seems like.
Right.
Or Tencent. If Tencent or Embracer don't get to them, then Microsoft is buying them. But yeah, Call of Duty will be multi-platform for the foreseeable future. I think Microsoft has to make that a thing if they want this Activision deal to go through. I think they can't make it exclusive. That would immediately, get people to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe you buying Activision is not the best thing. So, have either of you two played Salmon Run on Splatoon 2?
No.
No?
Like Splatoon.
Salmon Run is probably my favorite part of Splatoon 2. It was really, really good. It's the horde mode for Splatoon, basically, where you just got waves of enemies coming at you. It's you and 3 friends, or, random people, taking out waves of different, what they call salmonids, different fish type creatures. The thing that frustrated a lot of people playing Splatoon 2 was that you could only play Salmon Run at certain times. They made it this weird limited time event thing where you could play certain days at certain times, and that was it. For Splatoon 3, they have said that will not be the case. It will be available 24/7. You will not have to, schedule or, make sure you have time at the right time to play Salmon Run if you want to. So,
Okay.
this is one of those things I wish they would split this off and make this like its own separate thing. Because I want to play Salmon Run, but I don't necessarily want to play the rest of Splatoon. Like, I like Splatoon. It's fun, interesting, twist on the team-based shooter, but it is still an online multiplayer thing, and that's not really the type of game I like to play. I would love to see them split Salmon Run off and make it its own separate, it doesn't even have to be a free-to-play thing. Make it $15 on the eShop, but give people access to Salmon Run. But I don't think that'll ever happen. So, oh well. That's okay.
Yeah.
Did either of you play River City Girls?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to.
Man, that game.
You have?
I have played River City Girls multiple times. My son and I played that. We've 100%ed it. It's one of the few games. It's one of two games now that I can say I have 100%ed. The first one was that weird Mega Man thing, Metagal, I think, on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And now River City Girls is the second game that I have 100%ed. Absolutely love River City Girls. It is
To be fair, I think you got the platinum trophy, not 100%.
That's true. That's true. I did.
You just have to beat the first level, and you got the platinum trophy.
It is the only platinum trophy. Metagals is the only platinum trophy I have for the PlayStation. River City Girls is a fun side-scrolling beat 'em up in the River City Ransom universe. River City Girls 2 comes out later this year on Switch and I think PlayStation. I don't know if they've said it's coming to Xbox or not. It would make sense. The first one's on there.
Right.
But I don't remember seeing... I've only ever seen PlayStation and Switch when it's been talked about. So if you can confirm that it's coming to Xbox, great. I don't know if it is or not. But one of the things... They showed off a new trailer this week. And aside from showing off some of the villains that are going to be in the game, they also confirmed that it's going to have 4-player co-op. So that might be a game we could play for a pre-show sometime. Because I believe it'll be both local and online. So
full system crossplay. That is not promised at all.
I've not heard anything about crossplay, but... It was River City Girls was on Game Pass, so I would not be surprised to see River City Girls 2 come to Game Pass at some point.
Okay.
And if it does, we should make that a pre-show game at some point. I just wanted to say the news was announced this week that it's going to have 4-player co-op, so you can play as Kunio-kun and the rest of the River City crew with you and 3 friends and just beat the heck out of random generic enemies and play dress up, because that's one of the things you could do in the first game was equip different types of clothing and jewelry, and that gave you bonuses to your combat or your different fighting abilities. So
okay.
And then lastly, there has been rumors for a while now, I want to say about a month or a month and a half, that Microsoft has been planning a new Game Pass subscription. And that is starting to roll out this week. Microsoft has begun testing in Ireland and Colombia a new Game Pass called the Friends and Family Plan. Which, if you are familiar with Switch Online and its family plan, it's a very similar thing. Where up to 4 people will be able to share a Game Pass Ultimate subscription and all the perks that go with that. You just have to be signed up in a part of the same family group, and then everybody in that family group will have access to the full Game Pass experience. I know right now it's limited to where I don't remember exactly what the limitations are, but like multiple people can't necessarily play the same thing at the same time, or what. But the pricing has not been set yet. It seems that in the test phases, it works out to about $10 extra a month over what it is now. So if it's $15 now, it'd be $25 a month to have access to the family plan. So you will be able to, according to an Xbox FAQ, you'll be able to convert current Game Pass Ultimate memberships, and if you've prepaid a number of months in advance, you'll get the equivalent cost of the Game Pass subscription. So if you spent like $100 for a yearly pass or whatever, you would get 4 months of the Game Pass friends and family plan at the same, for the same price. So you're not going to necessarily, it's not going to convert 1-to-1. So it'll be, a shorter subscription time if you've prepaid ahead of time.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, the things I've seen said I will not be able to take advantage of it because I'm subscribed through Xbox All Access, and that is not one of the subscription types that you will be able to transfer or convert to the friends and family plan. So luckily, all of my people who use the Xbox all live in the same house right now, so it's not that big a deal. But for 2 years, I wouldn't be able to take advantage of this, which kind of sucks. But because I would probably subscribe for it because I have enough people that I can justify the cost pretty easily. And then I'd be perfectly fine with doing something like I do with Switch Online, where other people outside of my household are a part of my friends and family plan. So
I know about that.
But there you go. That is it for the show this week, unless you guys have anything else you want to toss out there?
No.
Nope, not yet.
Well, then that will be the end of the show for this week, so thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Thanks for inviting me back.
See you all next week. Welcome back.
I got it.
You didn't sing to us.
You want me to sing? What do you want me to sing to you? I sang Twinkle Twinkle to Andrew.
You Are My Sunshine.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, Cole, how much I love you. Please don't take my Ethan away. There you go. Done.
Can I have that clip?